Hello, Team Herbalife, and hopefully a lot of future Team Herbalifers here on this call. I've been trying to scroll as fast as possible in the chat of everyone putting where they're joining us from on this North America call, but as is usual, our Herbalife family is global, and I saw Argentina, I think I saw Ecuador on there somewhere. So welcome to everybody. It is so nice to be on this call with you all here from Los Angeles. And before we get started, I did just want to remind everybody to put on your translation down at the bottom. So if you need French or Spanish translation, make sure you select your translation button down at the bottom there. And if you want to comment in the chat, please make sure you select the drop down and make sure it says everyone. So that way everybody can see all of your comments here on the chat, not just us, the hosts or panelists. So again, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your evenings to join us. This call is all about the future of Herbalife. This call is meant to get us excited, keep us excited as we get on the road to extravaganza, right? So let's say about a week and a half ago here, we had one of our biggest global events, or really our biggest global event of the year, honors, right? It's our Oscars of Herbalife. And we saw some very exciting news from our special guests here today, Stephan and Blake, who I'll introduce in just a little bit. And today is really to make sure that everyone on this call hears that news, knows that news, has the opportunity to get excited with us, and make sure that we all get ourselves to the upcoming events here in North America to hear more about it and see the launch of it. So before we get started with a video, I did quickly want to ask the team to bring up our slides because we do have our April Elevate events kicking off here this month, this weekend. So we have a few events this weekend, and I want to make sure everyone has their tickets because you'll see more and hear more at those events. So make sure if you haven't gotten your ticket already to one of our Elevate events for this month, you get your ticket. And then we also, like I said, are focused on our road to extravaganza. Elevate's the first stop, but in July, the last weekend of July, 25th to the 27th, we are all going to meet in Dallas, Texas for extravaganza. I'm so excited. I know that this is going to be the best extravaganza we've had in a really long time, maybe ever. And I'm very excited to see so many of you there, all of you there. Hopefully, please buy your ticket, because what is coming at this extravaganza is going to be like something you have never seen before. And distributors are going to be the ones who get the first access. You guys who attend extravaganza are going to be first access, not only at the information, but also at the products. Okay, so products, technology, information, you're all going to have first access there at extravaganza. So get yourselves there. Okay. So before I introduce our special guests more formally, I do want to turn it over to the team to play us a recap video from our event a few weeks ago at Honors here in Los Angeles. So please, team, run the video.
Mark, Regional Distributor CEO. Michael, caretaker for a while, 22 years. And now we launch. Welcome your new CEO, Stephan Gratziani.
What prepared me for being the CEO of Herbalife was 32 and a half years of being the CEO of my own Herbalife distributorship. That was how I learned. That's how I developed into a leader. How anybody could start from nothing and just go out into the marketplace and share the products and the opportunity with people and build a life and impact people's lives. That's what I discovered in 1991. We changed people's lives every single day. The opportunity to take control of your health, the opportunity to, no matter what your situation is, no matter what your education was, to start a business and to share health and wellness with people and to be able to build a business and a career. Herbalife has always been that platform. Our vision is to become the world's premier health and wellness company, community, and platform. In the world we live in today, Great platforms are recognized because they have a digital service and way of connecting people who want to deliver service to people with the customers that want the service. What do we have as a platform? Over 2 million distributors that spend their day talking about health and wellness with people individually in communities, sharing the vision and what's possible in health and wellness. And so this is our birthright. Not only do we have the distributors, but we have approximately 65,000 physical locations around the world, bringing community together where they're talking every single day, bringing the value of good nutrition and support and coaching. We have tens of thousands of fit camps and fit clubs and activities and different things that are happening every single month that are connecting people with a healthier, better, active lifestyle. And the reason we're going to do it is because this is going to take us.
Vamos a hacer esto es porque esto nos va a llevar al siguiente nivel en Herbalife. Empieza en el verano aquí en los Estados
Not
Unidos.
only did we make the acquisition of Prove It and the team, we also made the acquisition of Protocol, the platform, but we're also making an acquisition of a company called Link Bioscience. This is a way for us to get on the start line to make sure that we develop into the future not only the products, not only the solutions, but also the digital platform that brings health and wellness as a service to people. This is an opportunity to do something that we deserve as a company, to be seen as we are by the hundreds of millions of people, the difference that we make in people's lives. Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the most recognized athletes in the entire world. He is the most absolutely dedicated individual to his nutrition, to his performance, to knowing that every single thing makes a difference. He loves the vision of our company for the future. He is going to be our partner in the future.
I believe in Stephan's vision for the future, changing nutrition in the world with Herbalife. Here's to many more years together.
Our new Chief Strategic Officer and President of Protocol, Blake Mallon.
And if there's one thing that's been reaffirmed to me so much over the last 2 months, it's the importance of community. It's what's kept me in this industry since I was 19. We just felt a lot of alignment on a vision and really the problems that we need to solve as a community. We believe that health deserves a revolution, and we believe we, the Herbalife community, with a protocol tool, can be a revolution. You guys, our health should be a fundamental right. We want to give a tool. It's the easiest way to look at this, a tool to go unlock the vision that you have heard Stephan lay out. We're gonna help you track and measure things that matter. Then we're gonna turn that into a personalized, healthy lifestyle program and a personalized supplement conversation. And then we're gonna give you tools as distributors, leaders, coaches to help unlock benefits for our customers. And then the most important part, how do we amplify the Herbalife difference, the distributor difference? Us in the room, right? The communities that we lead when it comes to giving tools to the leadership, the distributors, the coaches. But technology, it's actually about deepening the connection between us, right, our team, and our customers. It's not just high tech, it's high tech and what? High touch, coming together. It's community, it's relationships, it's connection. It'll be us, the Herbalife community, and the communities we lead that are the difference, a catalyst of change to go build the world's premier health and wellness company and community.
The most fun, simple, magical times for me as a distributor and as a leader was the times that I didn't have to think about what was happening in the company. The vision of where we were going in the future was exciting. The products that we were coming out with was exciting. You knew that the people that you were going to bring into the company they were going to have an opportunity, and we are going to look at how we position ourselves with the right people at the right places to get our hands on the right technology to be able to bring it to all of you to go out and build bigger businesses. And as a company being positioned to know that that is our North Star, the universe has a tendency to align. So I believe that becoming the world's health and wellness platform, company, community, and platform is going to keep us at the top of our game. Because if we are focused on making sure that we have the science, the products, the technology, the opportunity, the digital, everything, that we're going to have an amazing market, because there's billions of people and their health and their wellness, and taking control of that and having support of that, it is something that's fundamentally always going to be there. Hey everybody, listen, excited to be with you and excited to be with Blake, who is our new Chief Strategic Officer. We've got a great presentation. We know a lot of you we were with a few weeks ago, and I had actually said on the call at the very, very beginning of March that I wished the call was going to take place 1 week later, because we had some announcements that unfortunately we couldn't announce because we were going to have the honors and we had to wait until there. But we wanted to do a call now that the announcements have been made public. We wanted to give you more information about what's going to happen, what's happening, and we wanted to talk about the future. And so, number one, you've all heard, we made the acquisition of 3 pieces of business that really are important for us as a company in the future. As someone that was a distributor for 32.5 years, my level and my organization's level of excitement had always to do with the products that we had, the opportunity that we had in front of us to be able to go to the market and have something that was unique, exciting, something that people wanted and wanted to know about, and something that distributors or potential distributors looked at and said, I want to be a part of that because there's going to be a huge future here. And so that coming into the company for myself was part of the vision and the mission that I had, to make sure that the Herbalife opportunity, the products and what we were going to offer the world, and the opportunity that we were going to offer people to join the company was going to be something extraordinary. And so I share this with you because the acquisitions that we just made is moving us forward as a company into doing something that's never been done in this way in our industry. And we're going to be talking about that. And so in the acquisitions, you heard that we acquired a company called Prove It, which is the leader in ketones, and they had exclusivity in ketones, and they really developed the whole market in this new technology and delivery of energy to people, and developed an incredible business. Having that exclusivity coming into our company and having that as a product for us to bring around the world is going to give us something unique, number one. Number two, the team that came along with that and the value of that team really became something that became very clear, and I'm going to share why with you in a minute. But what they were working on, number one, having created the ketone entire industry, like almost I would say per se, but two, they weren't stopping there. They were looking forward and moving forward on developing a platform to deliver health and wellness, fitness, longevity in terms of all of the things that you could do and need to do to live the healthiest, longest life possible. And they were really on this road, which at the same time, Herbalife, this has been the same road that we're on. And we have been on for so many years. And so those 2 pieces in and of itself was really something that was pretty amazing to come across in alignment. But there was a third piece. And the third piece was a technology and a company that does personalized nutrition in a way that almost no one in the world does it. And we know that formulating in Herbalife amazing products with the best science, the technology, the ingredients to give the results to people is something that we've always been focused on. But there's a level above, which is actually not just formulating a product for everyone to use, but actually formulating products for an individual based on their needs, their lifestyle, who they are and the things that they have going on for themselves and their goals, obviously. And so making the acquisition of a company called Link Bioscience and the controlling interest in this company is giving us something that no other, number one, direct sales company has in the entire world. And the technology of this that took 8 years to develop, us getting this in our hands means we're going to have something to offer people in the world that no one else has, first of all. Very few other companies that are not in our industry use the same type of technology, and now we actually are the company that owns the technology. Okay, so these three things, very important for us as a future and as a company, and how it's going to all play out and what's going to happen in the future and how it's going to affect every single one of you. And I know, by the way, some of you or most of you probably are distributors of Herbalife and you've been in the company. Some of you maybe just a short amount of time. Some of you have been around maybe for decades. And this is a new beginning for us. Some of you might just be here for the very first time saying, well, Herbalife, I know someone or someone told me to come because there's something exciting that's going to be happening here. And the answer is yes, there's something incredibly exciting. The company that is the second largest company in direct sales, the biggest public company that has the most amount of distributors. We talked about in the video, the nutrition clubs. We talked about the fit camps, and the biggest platform is about to go digital and about to have products that no other company has. And so it's a lot. It's the beginning. We wanted to come and tell you about it, a little bit more about it, and tell you especially what the rollout is going to look like. But all of this really is happening because of what I would call just the alignment of the universe. Having this mission and this vision as a company, and then having opportunity show up and relationships build and meeting people that are aligned in that vision is really what we're talking about. And it's the reason why, we're here today, actually. And it's the reason why we made these acquisitions. And it really came through someone that was the president of Prove It, who was someone that I actually heard speak at an event in front of a bunch of different companies in our industry. And listening to him, I really thought to myself, there's really something here. This is someone that's got a huge experience, that understands our business. And it was someone that I just wanted to, as a new executive coming in, someone that was a distributor, I wanted to get closer to. I wanted to know, I wanted to have conversations with. And over time, we built a relationship. And as the relationship evolved and we spent more time together and just shared and talked about what we were dealing with, what was happening in the industry, what the vision was for our companies, what ended up happening is that this opportunity opened up. And so I'm very excited for all of us as a company, because today, for the first time, presenting to you outside of the honors, what we just recently did, is our new Chief Strategic Officer of Herbalife, the entire company, but also the co-founder and the president of protocol within the company now. And Blake Mallon, I want you to give your background. This is talking to all of the Herbalife, all of the distributors, and certainly some guests that are here. But you've got such an interesting background in the industry. You started as a distributor. I don't want to take from your story, but just give a bit of background of who you are and how you ended up here. And just welcome to the Herbalife community.
I love it. Well, thank you for the kind words. This is the first time you and I have ever. This is like the first moment right here. This is exciting. Well, Stephan, as you were sharing kind of your vision, and obviously, how many of you guys liked the video that you saw at the start of this webinar? Hit the chat box. I was watching those moments and it brought me right back to that honors event a couple weeks ago. Obviously, that was my very first experience in Herbalife, the first time I had a chance to really get a feel, right? I mean, you hear about the company, the whole channel knows about this company, but to actually be in the environment, right, with the leadership and, the corporate officers, you guys, it didn't take long to realize there's truly something special here. The people, the energy, the legacy, the foundation, and, watching all of that just brought me right back, to that moment. Give me a 1 in the chat box if you were with us at Honors. I want to see who's out there who was with us at that event. And give me a 2 if you have felt, right, some sort of energy brewing. Maybe it was conversations from leaders coming off that event. Maybe you've plugged in to some things on social media. Like, how many of you maybe weren't in that room of nearly 4,000 from 95 countries, but you're feeling the ripple, right, already over the last couple weeks? And I'll tell you, that's just the beginning. But to answer your question directly, new to Herbalife, but not new to this channel, since it's my first time meeting so many of you, I'll give you just a super short background on a personal level. Right now, we're sitting in the home office in LA Live. For those of you that haven't been here, this is a beautiful building right in the center of Los Angeles, overlooking the arenas. I'm surrounded by like the legacy and history of Herbalife. I grew up about 45 minutes north of here. Nothing special. Both my parents were public service. My mom, a career teacher. My dad, a career police officer. I met my wife, Karis, in high school. We're high school sweethearts. We'll be celebrating 26 years together next month. Family is everything to me. I got two littles. My son, Grayson, is 9. My daughter, Sadie, is 6. And I'll just say this just because it kind of ties. You mentioned like alignment and doors opening. So for the last 11 years, I've been in Pacific Palisades. Now, you might have never heard the term Pacific Palisades, maybe until, about 90 days ago, as the Palisades fires kind of were worldwide news. And I was one of the nearly 7,000 houses that actually burned down, lost my family home at the start of this year. It's been a crazy last couple months. And we were reminiscing earlier and talking with some of the initial team. And it's interesting that the agreement that led to this very moment, this partnership, actually came into my email box the exact same time, 2:13 on January 7th, right? That I was sitting there preparing my home, right, for the day the fires came in. And it's just a strange emotional feeling of how kind of in one moment, I'm preparing to lose kind of like my family house, but in the very same moment, I'm getting this amazing invitation to a brand new home. And I get visceral reactions just saying that. And it has felt that way ever since the honors event over the last couple weeks. So thank you for the warm welcome, Herbalife worldwide. And then professionally, 25 years in this channel, it's all I've ever done. So since my freshman year, UCSD down in San Diego, an instant message came in, introduced me actually to something that was called an opportunity meeting. So for the very first time, maybe some of you guys are watching this for the very first time looking for a new opportunity, and started me on the trajectory now, 25 years in this space, a direct selling entrepreneur, 5 years in the field as a top producing distributor, 15 years as kind of an owner, founder, operator of a company that went through all the seasons, scrappy startup, insane growth and momentum, partnering with $1 billion public company, and also the challenging times, the hard times, right? The dark times that you struggle through as an entrepreneur. So been through all the seasons. The last 5 years, as Stephan mentioned, the president of Prove It, obviously the new company that is now part of the Herbalife family, and also served as an advisor alongside some of the channel's largest news sources. So I only share that just to give a little bit of the experience, and I think maybe the words perspective, and that's what I hope to kind of bring, combined with the leadership we have and the amazing team we have, is just some perspective of how we come together and create something that's never been done, right? Take this whole community to a level we've never been. And we're off to an amazing start for some of the things that we hinted at honors, and we're gonna touch on a lot more at Extravaganza here coming up in July. So that's a little bit of the backstory.
Thank you for that. So welcome to the family, by the way. Protocol, and we asked, by the way, the feedback from the honors, what was the most exciting thing? And by the way, obviously at the honors, one of the things that we did is we really honored Michael Johnson for the 24 kind of years, 22 years as CEO, and for what was created during his tenure here, which is this incredible foundation, obviously huge, successful, 95 markets around the world, billions of dollars, and is the foundation for the future. And number one, that was a beautiful thing. The vision, the announcements, obviously, what we're announcing to all of you. One of the things that people came back and said was the most exciting part of it for them was this idea of protocol, and having this platform and this digital connection and support for customers and what it was going to bring to us as a business opportunity and as a company. So Blake, I know that this is, you're a co-founder, the idea of it, worked on developing it, got it to where it was. Obviously, bringing it to Herbalife, it's a little bit of a different company, but if you can just share kind of the idea of it, how it came about, what it is for everybody, how things are getting developed, and maybe talk about kind of what the plan is for the rollout. I think that'd be really great, because I think everybody is super excited about what this is going to bring to our business in the future. And it's really the beginning of something and an opportunity that's never existed before for us.
Well, it really started out of frustration, right, as a fellow health enthusiast, of just how complicated and fragmented health seems to be today. And I know I'm speaking to the choir in terms of the Herbalife community, right? The largest healthy lifestyle community, in the world. But maybe you guys can share some of the frustration where I found myself, wanting to go get my blood drawn, right? So I could really understand where I was at, what was going inside my body, and trying to use all these different apps and technologies to kind of feed me data, right? I'm sitting here wearing my Oura ring and my Whoop just to kind of tell me what's happening really inside my body. And then once I get this information, being super confused on, now that you're giving me information, like, what do I do with it, right? And, having to go to a trainer to figure out my workouts, or having to figure out, a dietitian or meal prep on what do I need to eat, or figuring out the right supplement stack, or all the information that's all over the internet of to do this or to not do this. There's just a lot, and sometimes it can feel overwhelming and scattered in so many different pieces. So really the inception of Protocol came from, how can we just simplify what should be the foundation for all of our health, right? How do we revolutionize what we really think is the future of where health is going and needs to go, not just in the United States, but across the world. And so myself and my fellow co-founders and a team, we have been building this for coming up on a year and a half. And like Stephan mentioned kind of in our story, we just started hanging out socially. I loved his energy, right? I love the vision, right? I love being around people that just make you better. And, selfishly, I just wanted to hang around more with Stephan. So we started a relationship. It wasn't intentional that we all of a sudden would end up here, but we kind of reached this point in conversation where we're like, we're building what we believe is the future of health. And what better community to power that conversation than the largest global healthy lifestyle community that exists in the world. I mean, nobody can deny, right, the legacy and the power and the history of the Herbalife community and what has been done over the last 45 years. So it came to that point where it's like, wow, Herbalife has this amazing vision. We've kind of built this new baby vision that we think could be innovative, disruptive, new era, next generation. And it came to this conclusion, well, maybe this is one of those scenarios where like 1 + 1 can equal 11. And it really came about impact, right? How can we come together to create not only a vision, but a technology, a platform, a team to make the biggest impact possible? So that's what kind of led us to where we are. In terms of explaining Protocol, I'll simplify it and just call it, it's a personalized, right, wellness platform. Let me ask you guys a question. We can see all of you right now, by the way, on the giant screens here in the office. So we can see the chat, and I see all the fire, and we see all the hearts, and we see you out there. So if you want to participate, so let me just ask you, in your Herbalife business today, with whatever DMO you're currently, right, using today, if you had the ability for your customers to actually get insights into their biometrics, which is just like a fancy word for like the data of their body, right? Whether they go through a survey or an assessment online, or maybe we even unlock enhanced diagnostics. Maybe we even have new technology that allows even maybe blood-based or other sort of evidence-based, test-based, right, processes, just to show your customers what's going on in their body as a baseline and allow them to measure that and track that over time. Give me a 1 in the chat box if just that, right, would be a useful tool. In one place, online, digital, beautiful, simple, that shows, are we on track? Am I off track? Am I going up? Am I going down? Am I going the right direction? Like, when I get my lab from the doctor, like, I don't even know what all that stuff means, right? it's got to be made simple, right? Okay, well, let's take it a little further. I see a lot of ones. So let's say we have the biometrics. What if then we could then use our intelligence, and intelligence being actual science, right? We've been working a lot with not only our scientific board, but Dr. Luigi, right? Dr. John, there's been a lot of collaboration, but actually then use our intelligence to create a personalized protocol of lifestyle habits, things you should take, how much water you should drink, how much movement, workouts, macros, right? Things that maybe even get deeper into your personalized protocol if you're someone that loves cold plunging or red light, but have it all in a simple, clean mobile app where you can actually track and measure the components of your lifestyle protocol and get rewarded and have streaks and share community. Full stop. I'm going to ask you guys a question. If you had just a technology in the palm of all your customers' hands that gave them a personalized protocol and allowed them to check in and engage and track and reward it, right, through, recognition inside a technology, would that help your customers move toward their health goals? Yes or no? Give me a 1 in the chat box. And then the last piece, guys, let's take it to what Herbalife knows better than maybe any platform in the world, the supplement conversation, right? Assigning a personalized protocol, not just on the existing Herbalife products, which would be huge. The ability to have the existing Herbalife products that they're taking every single day in an app where they can track and they can measure. They can just get reminded, did you take your shake today? Did you drink your tea today, right? Just simple things reminding of the existing products. But I don't know, maybe even in the future, maybe just like 24 brought a whole new category to the Herbalife brand. Herbalife, right? An amazing nutrition, right? Weight loss. 24, bringing our brand into the active lifestyle. Well, maybe there's a whole new space in this emerging longevity conversation, this lifespan, health span conversation that is the trend right now, right? In the world, maybe there's a protocol product line in our future that dances on some of the things Stephan said. And maybe that even gets down to that personalization word, where we can actually, through the acquisition of some of the companies Stephan mentioned, what if in the future you could actually, and your customers could have a personalized product, one of one, designed for you, different than anybody else, based on the data, right, that you're able to feed, a next evolution of precision nutrition, right, a future of health. And we wrap all this around what makes us different. The Herbalife difference, the distributor difference, community. Not just another app in the App Store, but people like us, right, that are living the lifestyle, that are the walking testimonies, that can bring this to consumers around the world. So let me pause right there. Based on just that glimpse, and I'm not going into a whole lot of details, we'll see a lot more at Extravaganza, but give me a 1 in the chat box if that would accelerate your business, right? Tracking and measuring, healthy lifestyle, supplementation, all stuff that we're already doing inside Herbalife, but a next generation, a new era, a future of health. That's the platform that we plan on bringing, right, to the Herbalife community in the months and years to come. So I see a lot of ones going, Stephan. There's a lot of ones.
So let's add on to this. What does that mean for you as distributors and people that are maybe looking for the first time at what kind of opportunity is in front of you when you have in your hands a platform and something that is so valuable for anyone that's interested in their health and well-being, and you have the technology and the products and the science and the biometric data, and you have something that almost no one in the world has, which is a level of personalization, customization, one-to-one, able to deliver a product to someone, what does that create for you as an opportunity? So think about this and how you've been running your businesses and what the opportunities look like. Since we're doing the ones, put a 1 in if you think there's people around you, your family, your friends, your colleagues, people that you've worked with, old customers that you've had before, that they would be interested in the opportunity to understand and see how Herbalife is changing, what the future is going to hold. So this is going to create an entirely new opportunity for us. And the one thing, besides obviously the products and the science and everything that we've been doing, layering on the digital part, but it's also the Herbalife opportunity. I mean, we are the second largest company in the world in 50 years, 60 years of companies that have come into this industry. Blake calls it the channel. We are the second largest, and we're the first public, and we're the largest nutrition lifestyle company in the world. So we know how to design and build an opportunity. We've done it, the biggest, the best in our field. This is going to take an opportunity to the next level. So Blake, for someone that's been 25 years in the industry, that's, an industry, just leader and has been around companies and spoken to companies and even leaders of different companies, how do you see the Herbalife opportunity, this legacy company, the foundation, the history, but now moving into this new opportunity? Because there is a dynamic here, right? You have Prove It, 10 years, ketone, built an incredible business in ketones, moving towards this new health and wellness, combining with Herbalife now, plus an entire industry where things are changing. Yep. Social media changed up everything. D2C changed up everything. Technology's changing up everything. So the design of a new business designed for today, with the number 2 company in the world, the largest network, the most advanced health and wellness, nutritional supplementation lifestyle, building now this digital technology like for the future, bringing something to the market that no one has. How do you see this in terms of the industry and what the future is going to look like, and just how this opportunity is going to be perceived?
The word that comes to my mind right now is like the ultimate convergence. And what I mean by convergence is I see kind of like 3 layers colliding in this kind of perfect timing. One I just mentioned, right? So I see this convergence of the future of health, where health is going. And we have 45 years of legacy doing it at the highest level, right, as a company. And now what will be coming into our hands come extravaganza, right, and beta, for those that are there, and where we're going to go, right, from that point, is the future of where health is going to be. Like, the future of health is going to be evidence-based. It's going to be test-based. It's going to be highly personalized and highly individualized, right? It's got to be made simple. It's got to be comprehensive. It's got to be in one place. And it's not any of that right now, but it's going to be, right? Why can't we be the company, not that chases a trend, but that creates the trend, the disruptor, the category creator and leader, right, of the future of where we're going? Like you said on stage at Honors, like it should be our birthright for everything we've done to get to this point. So you got this health convergence, but as Stephan's mentioning, it goes deeper than that. We talk about opportunity, and sorry, I'm going to get a little strategic, I guess, here and talk a little business, but I think you guys will relate. When it comes to moving like ideas to consumers, the nature of business, right? How do you take a product or a service, an idea, and bring it to the world? You look at other channels. The reason I call it channels is because you look at like a retail channel. Well, I don't know, and here in LA, you go walk around the malls, right, in Santa Monica where we're from, and most of the malls are being converted to like experience stations and play stations, because retail as a channel is getting more and more difficult. Like, it's going backwards. Then you think about the emergence in e-com, right, online, right, normal direct-to-consumer, which has been a rage for brands over the last decade. But now there's so many eyeballs on all of the feeds and all of the screens. The cost to advertise keeps going up and up and up, and the competition keeps getting bigger, meaning it's getting harder, right? It's getting harder for brands to use those channels. So here's my punchline. More and more companies and brands are recognizing what we have known for 45 years. The power of relationship, the power of community, the power of, forget the advertisement or the retail shelf, I take this, I use this, I feel this, it works. That transfer of trust that powers this community. Guys, the rest of the world is now realizing that that is the future of commerce, right? So I think, to answer your question, like right now is such an opportune time to double down on community, on relationship, on what we do. And you amplify the business need with the fact that, well, you know, COVID had a lot of stuff, but one of the things that it did help for us is it normalized virtual. It normalized remote work, right? It normalized what we do. The gig economy normalized, right, multiple income streams. So there's all these things that have happened over the last few years that I think have primed the time for our business model and exactly what we do. And the last thing I'll say is I said convergence of three. So I see a future of health converging with the future, right, of this style of marketing, community marketing, direct selling, right, relationships. And the last piece I'll highlight, and I wish everybody could see see what's to my right now. And in this headquarters, you got to come out here. At the home office, there's an entire timeline going from the inception of Mark Hughes to Stephan here on the end. But you have legacy, 45 years of legacy, stability, safety, security, pioneering this channel and conversation, right? Everything that you guys know better than I do that is Herbalife today. Now converging with what's going to be the future. Innovation, disruption, velocity, technology, personalization. You guys, we have the best of both worlds. Who else can have a 45-year legacy meeting a future of disruption all coming together in opportunity? So that's what I see when we talk strategy. I see the future of health. I see the future of how we distribute in this style of marketing. And I see the power that we have here, which is why we're here. It's why I'm here. It's why we're all here. And that's why I get fired up. So I know it's 45 years for Herbalife, but to me, it feels like it is a brand new beginning. And I hope we're trying to transfer to some of you that energy of it's going to be a new era. It's a new beginning. And you're going to feel and experience that a lot when we're together at Extravaganza.
Yeah, so let's talk about this, because Extravaganza, it's going to be the beginning. It's going to be the very first time that distributors that are there are going to be able to experience firsthand the protocol app, the protocol products. Okay.
Baby.
And it will be an opportunity to be firsthand, and it will only be available to people that are at Extravaganza. And so that's the beginning. Later on in the year, third quarter, around October, will be the opportunity to start building a protocol Herbalife business. And so the full commercialization, but being at the very beginning, one opportunity to experience at Extravaganza and to be the first to have the application, to have the products, that's going to be there, okay? It is just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And so Blake has something very interesting that he talks about, and the way to position this, because if you're here now, I'm sure you're excited about this. And we are, 90 days out from Extravaganza, and we are 5 months out from, when we will be commercializing and launching. But these are the most important moments right now. And so Blake, you've got a very interesting kind of perspective in the experience of, the vision of what's coming, but at the same time, not waiting around and being kind of paralyzed in it's exciting, but there's nothing to do. So just talk a little bit about that, because I just want everyone to hear, because I think this moment is the most important, and you don't get those moments back. So give them your perspective and your view just on.
Yeah, I was sharing with Stephan just something a mentor taught to me when I was early, right, in this industry. And it's a quote that always resonated. And I say it a lot, because if you get it, it shifts your action, it shifts your behavior. And what I got taught was you have to use the vision of what's coming tomorrow to create an urgency in you today. And both of those are really important. Grasping the vision, but having that vision translate into an urgency. So as Stephan just said, and that's why we're doing this now. I mean, we didn't have to have this conversation. We don't have to be live with thousands of all of you, right? You could have waited till, Texas, right, at the end of July. But we're doing this now to try to transfer a little glimpse of the vision. And, what we're going to do there is we're going to give the first ever pre-release to those in the room. Call it a beta, right? Call it the first preview, right? It's a pre-release to those that are in the seats at Extravaganza, right? That's not even the starting line, right? That's the pre-starting line. But for those that are there, you're going to get a pre-release of the technology. You're going to get a pre-release of maybe some product conversation, hint, hint. And I'm a big fan of of getting feedback, right? Of allowing all of the people that are really having the conversations, our community, to really be a first mover and also feed us back, like how do we make this even better? So we're gonna treat that group that's at Extravaganza of this kind of pre-release, kind of like the first beta, the first users in, and also giving us real feedback as we work to commercialize and launch in the US. This will be US first, right, in October. But the point is to see that vision, to create urgency today, right? To create an action today. And I know Sam at the beginning of this conversation, right, showed you we have the calendar in place. Like we have the elevates all throughout this month in 8 different cities to drive energy and activity into, to get a bigger picture, to come out of those events, to turn into more people, to show up to Dallas, right? Not just with you, but with you and 5 more, or you and 10 more, or you and 20 more. You guys, it's like having a little bit of a crystal ball, right? It'd be like, I don't know, if for those of you that were in the room when 24 launched, like what if you knew the impact that was going to have on the business and the brand, and you had the team coming to you 90 days before and say, we're gonna do this, this is what's going to happen, you can bring anybody with you to be a part of it. Like what action would you have taken? Imagine if you knew what Mark Hughes was gonna do, right? And what Herbalife was going to become. Like you had the benefit of that, right, hindsight. But you had it 90 days before the very first ever extravaganza, whatever year that was. Like what action would you have taken with the vision of what was going to happen 90 days before the first? Who would you have had in the room? Who would you have had with you? How much urgency and intensity and excitement would you be transferring to people, right, the 90 days headed in? And I know not everybody will get this. And I know some of you will just kind of like wait and see and be in the room and you'll get excited when you see it. But if some of you do get this, right, we can turn a few thousand people on a Zoom to thousands more, a part of our community, to thousands into the elevates, to thousands more, and fill a stadium, right? Fill a stadium together for our starting line, right? For our starting line. So that's the purpose of today, guys, is not a lot of details, a little bit of glimpse, some hints maybe we gave, right? But really taking that vision and saying, how can I do a little bit more today, a little more excitement, a little more urgency, a little more activity today to get positioned for what we believe is going to be the future of health, right? And a new era for our channel. So hopefully that helps.
So guys, we're gonna end it here. Thank you for your time tonight. Do not waste a single minute, a single day, a single week, a single month, and we will see you for the most exciting event we've ever had in the history of Herbalife at Extravaganza in Texas, end of July. Have a great evening.